Hello, Internet. I'm sorry I haven't posted in quite a while, and actually, my brother-in-law mentioned it to me that I hadn't posted a video in a while, and I went, oh, crap. Mostly because I've been updating everything on Facebook. Ugh, I'm uncomfortable. Story of my life. um, but there's not really any reason that I wasn't. I just kind of forgot, I guess. But it's July 8th now. I am 22 weeks pregnant, visibly so. Got the big belly and everything. There's pictures of me on Facebook. Starting out from 15 weeks, then 17, and then 20, and then I'll probably do another one again sometime next week. Um, just kind of been updating that. I put up ultrasound photos from when I was about 11 weeks, I think. And then I just had another ultrasound again at 19 weeks. And those pictures are kind of interesting because he was really, yes, I say he because we're pretty sure it's a boy. He had his legs crossed most of the time, and the ultrasound tech, she got a look, but she wasn't entirely sure. She said, don't count your chickens or anything yet, but I'm pretty sure it's a boy. So I have that stuck in my head. He's a boy. If he changes into a girl, oh well. I bought mostly gender neutral stuff, and even if things are more boy, it's not like I wouldn't let a girl wear it. You know what I mean? Um, so the last ultrasound that I had, he was super stubborn, was laying face down, with his face towards my spine. And, was moving his hands and everything and wiggling around, but not doing too much. And he wouldn't look up, so you never got to see his face. He looked straight up one time and you could see his skull, basically. So I have a picture of that, which I think is the coolest thing ever. I also have a picture of him with his hand up by his face, look like he's getting ready to suck his thumb, and a picture of his little feet and everything, and his spine, and one of him in 3D where you can see his leg all curled up and his hand by his face again. And they're really cute, but it's so weird to see the difference between at 11 weeks when his whole body was in one ultrasound picture to now, well, here's a piece of him here and here's a piece of him there. And already that was 3 weeks ago. So, he's grown significantly since then, too. I can only imagine what he's going to look like the next time I see him. Because since he wouldn't show his face the last time, they have to do another sonogram, to check all the facial features and stuff like that. So I have another sonogram coming up on the 14th. So less than a week already. The other thing I found out at my last sonogram is that I have an anterior placenta, and what that means is the placenta that feeds the baby and everything, gives him all his nutrients, is in the front of my belly. So, if he's kicking that or punching that, I don't feel it. If he's kicking beneath it or to the side of it or above it, I can feel it. So, obviously I don't feel him as much as other women would. It doesn't create any problems. It's just different. I either feel him kicking really low, or now that I think he's gotten bigger, it's kind of near my ribs underneath a little bit. The thing is they give you the standards of how high up your uterus has gotten in your abdomen based on how many weeks pregnant you are. But for me, it's very different because I'm very small. So, whereas most women at 20 weeks, they supposedly you can feel the top of the uterus at your belly button. Mine was probably already about 2 inches above my belly button. But again, that's because I'm very small. You're not supposed to not even be able to feel it at all until you're about 12 weeks. I could feel it at 9.5, way down, but I could feel it. So, obviously it's different for everybody and different for every pregnancy and stuff like that. So it's just kind of been quite an experience. I think since my last update, I haven't had any more problems with the subchorionic hematoma, no more bleeding. I haven't had any bleeding since I think it probably was about 11 weeks was the very last time that I had it, and it was pretty much gone by then, and now it's gone completely. They don't even see evidence of it on the ultrasound anymore. So that's really good that it did just take care of itself, like they thought it would. Um, I've been sick a few times since then. I had an absolutely awful cold, and then at the end of the cold, I started getting a bump on my neck over on the side. You obviously can't see it now because the swelling's all gone, but it was about the size of a golf ball. And for me, that's not really strange because it sort of runs in my family that whenever we get colds, we tend to get swollen lymph nodes. And I was like, oh, I just have a swollen lymph node like usual, blah, 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 blah. Until it got really big and it hurt so bad that I literally could not do anything. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't function at all. It was awful. So I ended up being in the hospital with that, and they ended up saying, no, it's an infected salivary gland. I went to ear, nose, and throat doctor, and they did cultures and stuff, said it was no bacteria or anything, and it started going down on its own, and it's completely gone now. So I think you can still, maybe I can feel a tiny, tiny bit, but it's basically gone. So that was pretty nerve-wracking. During the time when it was all swollen up and everything and I was all in pain, that's when I had my last sonogram, and my blood pressure was really high that day, so my midwife sent me to a specialist thinking I might have issues with high blood pressure. When I went to the specialist, my blood pressure was normal, and so he didn't recommend anything, just to keep my regular prenatal visits. But that was kind of scary because I'm like, oh, great, here we go. I had high blood pressure when I was like in middle school and haven't had problems in like 10 years. And here we go, of course, it's going to come back. But no, it seems like maybe it was pain related or something of the sort. It doesn't mean I'm out of the woods, doesn't mean it can't come back or whatever, but I'm just trying to keep an eye on it. I should probably go to a pharmacy and have it checked again soon. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me and Pumpkin. Not a whole lot else. I'm kind of excited for the next appointment. I am always excited for appointments. It gives me reassurance that everything is going well. I guess I do have reassurance to some degree now that I feel him kicking me and things like that, but since it doesn't happen a real lot and it's still kind of hard to feel sometimes, it's like that's not totally reassuring. But that they told me that's what would happen because of, where the placenta's at and everything. And it's nothing to worry about. It just kind of sucks. So, hopefully at the next appointment, we'll see more of his, potentially her, anatomy. Maybe get to see his face, which would be nice. Can see if he's looking like Kellen and making him adorable. I can only hope. But yeah, so far things are going pretty well. I've had some scares, like I said, and it's still very stressful because, the kind of person that I am, and having been through what I've been through, there's still always in the back of my mind that something's going to happen even when I'm this far along. Especially with the high blood pressure thing coming up. It's like, oh, great, I'm going to have preeclampsia and have to deliver early and stuff like that, which, who knows, it could still happen. It's very possible, but, hopefully we can avoid that. But I think the only thing that's really I've been thinking about lately is trying to get everything we need, trying to get a baby shower set up, which I'm hopefully doing mid-August, so about a month from now, which is really weird to think about. It's only about 4 months until I'm due, which is also really weird to think about. November 12th is creeping closer all the time. So we tried to set up the crib that actually my parents had for my brother and I, but it has the drop sides. Some of the slats are too far apart. And, since obviously the one thing we would have wanted to do to make it safer is to immobilize the sides so they can't be dropped, would make it so that even with the mattress at the highest setting, would make it so I can't get the baby out of the crib. So we're kind of screwed there. And now we're looking for a new crib. And I feel really bad because Kellen had to take it out of the rafters in my parents' garage. My dad had to help set it up and everything. And now it's like, well, I can't use it. It's not safe, and I'm too small to use it appropriately. So that kind of sucks. But, it is what it is. We move along. We take care of it. Whatever. The other thing I've been thinking about, mostly just because it was my brother-in-law who told me that I needed to update this again, is that Kellen and I don't think ever really thought about this when we got married, but, Kellen's family lives in Massachusetts. My family lives here in Erie, Pennsylvania, where we live. And it's weird to think about, how that's going to work with, like, his grandparents being able to see him and stuff, the ones who are farther away, and what that kind of relationship's going to be like. It's something I'm trying not to worry about, but it definitely is something I think about. And then there's Garrett and David, Kellen's brothers, who would obviously want to see the baby too. And it's like, how do you work it all out and everything that everyone gets the time that they want? I mean, I'm sure, being that it is such a distance, it's like a 7-8 hour drive. People are going to be disappointed at different times. I mean, obviously, when the baby gets older, we'll be able to travel more with him, but for the time being, it's not going to be that easy, especially because, he's going to be born around the holidays, so obviously this year we're not going to be traveling for holidays. Next year, who knows? So it's kind of a wait-and-see thing, and I know there's nothing I can do about it right now, really. It's just something in the back of my mind. But overall, I'm doing well. Baby's doing well. He's measuring up the way he should. I'm gaining weight appropriately, as much as it pains me to do so. I'm trying to eat well. Some days I do better than others. It all depends on how much my taste buds want to cooperate. Sometimes I just don't feel like eating much of anything, and I end up eating garbage, but not literally, of course. So, I think everyone goes into pregnancy saying, I'm going to eat the absolute best I can, and then reality takes over, and you're like, yeah, but I don't want to eat that. And I don't want to eat that. That doesn't smell good. That doesn't taste good. So, you gotta roll with the punches, I guess. Go with the flow, be flexible, all that nice junk. But I think that's about it for this. So, I'm sorry if I haven't updated lately. I'll probably update again in a few weeks. So until then, see you guys later. Bye.